So today we're talking more about the relationships between the angles in the checkerboard, and specifically we're going to talk about the relationships between corresponding angles. We have already learned that if lines are parallel, we've got these relationships, and I'm just going to abbreviate here. We learned that the alternate interior angles are equal. Just writing the symbol for equal, right? And we know that those both start with vowels. That helps us remember. What helps us remember same side interior? Same side interior, you're right, is supplementary. And I'm just going to abbreviate that. Supplementary adds to 180. We already knew that the vertical angles were equal, and we already knew that linear pairs add up to 180, so those are supplementary as well. Our new thing is saying, well, what if lines are parallel? What do we know about the corresponding angles? The corresponding angles are congruent or equal. I use the word congruent so that we can remember corresponding congruent. And we have a little picture here of the corresponding angles, angle 2 and angle 6. If those lines are parallel, which we see by that little baby arrow, if those lines are parallel, then the corresponding angles are equal. So kind of as a review, we're going to look at a picture and it's going to say, like, what type of angles are these? These are alternate interior angles. I can just abbreviate it. And then just circle the relationship. Alternate interior are equal. Of course, equal and congruent are the same thing. What about these angles, 5 and 6? Do you know what kind of angles these are? You're right, those are corresponding angles, and we just learned corresponding is congruent. Do you remember the kind of angles that 7 and 8 are? You're right, same side interior, you could say SSI, and same side is supplementary, adds to 180. And then number 4, you might know the angles, they're alternate exterior. We haven't specifically said it, but alternate exterior are also congruent in the checkerboard. They're basically equivalent to the alternate interior angles. So kind of the same question we had in yesterday's notes, and I like to use 2 colors, like these angles are all equal, so equal to angle 1 is angle 4, angle 5, angle 8. And then equal to angle 2 would be angle 2, angle 3, angle 6, angle 7. Angle 2, angle 3, angle 6, angle 7. Supplementary to angle 1 is also all those green angles, 2, 3, 6, and 7. And then supplementary to angle 2 would be all the purple angles, 1, 4, 5, 8. Oops. Okay. And then we've got some more checkerboards, right? So really we're kind of doing the same thing as yesterday, like filling in vertical angles equal, alternate interior angles equal, vertical angles equal, and then just observing like, hey, those corresponding angles are equal too. If I subtract from 180, 180 minus 75 gives me 105, 105, 105, 105. So I got that nice checkerboard. Let's do another checkerboard here now given with the 80, 80, 80, 80, 80. Now remember I said another way to look at this is all the acute angles are equal. And of course they're equal to the smaller number. And then all the obtuse angles are also equal. Sometimes the checkerboards go sideways, 50, 50, 50, 50. It's okay. Subtract 180 minus 50, 130, 130, 130, 130. You're getting the hang of it. The last one's the double checkerboard, right? Double checkerboard. So here we go. 120 is my obtuse angle. So all my obtuse angles in this whole picture are going to be 120. What are the rest of the angles going to be? Yep, 180 minus 120, 60. I highly recommend using 2 colors. You don't have to, but it does make it look a lot prettier. And then we notice inside here we get this parallelogram, opposite angles equal, angles next to each other add up to 180. Now we're ready to put our information together in some more complicated pictures, or less obviously a checkerboard. This is still a checkerboard. It still has some what I call hidden Z's, 40 degrees. A vertical angle makes that 40 degrees. these two angles make a straight line, or that sunrise, sunset, so 140. Let's see, what else do I notice? Oh, I notice a backwards Z here, a backwards Z. So angle 2 is 70. I notice another sunrise here, 110. So this is a great problem because it's putting together like everything we've known. And then what do we know about a triangle? What does a triangle always add up to? You're right, 180. So I have 110 there. So 110 subtracted from 180 is 70. And as another double check, these three angles would make a straight line. So you notice I did all the work on the picture, and then now when I have to answer the questions, I can just pull the answers right off my picture. Angle 4 was 40, angle 5 140, and angle 6 110. We're going to see that picture quite a lot. Well, actually all these pictures here. Again, this picture has what I call two checkerboards that are not equal to each other. 60, 60, 60, 60, 60. So angle 2 is 60. And then if I subtract from 180, angle 3 there is going to be 120. I didn't have to draw all those extra ones in, but I could. Or I could just notice things like, hey, those are corresponding angles. They're congruent. If I wanted to, I could extend it to a whole checkerboard, but if I notice that, I should be good. Same thing in number 15. I notice those are corresponding angles. Those are congruent, 90. Oh, I see another checkerboard, 110, 110, 110, 110, right? So angle 2 and angle 3 are 110. And then if I subtract from 180, angle 4 is going to be 70. And if I want to, I could fill the rest of them in. I don't have to. Last one. So we're looking at these angles. What type of angles are they? You're right, they're corresponding. What's the relationship? You're right, corresponding is congruent. What does congruent mean? Congruent means equal. And then we solve for x is 40. All right, so really more of the same, but adding in this idea that corresponding angles are congruent.